you retired, right?
Yeah, so I did 21 years in the military. Once we got out, started doing some government contracting.
Yeah.
Well, actually, we started the government contracting company and got everything filled up
Yeah.
and done while I was in, just because I had that motivation of just, wow, I can do this, I can do this. We can make some extra money with certain certifications. And it's just something that I was familiar with because I've been doing it for, out of the 21 years I'm in the military, I was doing it 17 years,
Yeah.
being a storekeeper and dealing with government purchasing, government contracts, supply chain issues, shipping and receiving. So I got the whole gambit in that kind of logistics world.
Yeah.
And having these certifications like veteran owned, uh, service disabled owned, are invaluable if you know how to use them.
Yeah, and I feel like that I was super excited to start down that path because even after leaving from dealing with government agencies, either through audit or as a consultant with the Navy, I ended up going, and that was kind of a part of like my just overall go to market strategy as a senior manager, was to make commercial companies more aware of those that were government contractors, make sure that they actually understood the clauses that were actually in their contract and how that affected them from an IT compliance perspective. So definitely was always familiar with contracts, with government contracting, because I was one technically for the first part of my career. And then also too, like ended up trying to help get some pretty big companies compliant from like an IT compliance perspective. So I was excited about Bivins Group. We didn't actually operationalize it though until this year.
Yeah, so everything was done in preparation to kind of start this business once I was getting out of the military. We didn't exactly know what we were going to be doing, but we knew that this was something that could give us that kind of quote unquote remote work.
Yeah.
We can do it from anywhere depending on how your business is structured. That
Yeah.
is.
Instantly between your fifth and eighth contract, you're gonna win. And we ended up hitting on like our eighth contract, and then I think we hit our eighth like proposal, and then we ended up hitting again like on our 10th.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And I think another one, it was Kizzy Parks and was Sheena Panur.
Yeah.
And a few other ones we got to think of, but we looked at a lot of online content just to see kind of how fast people were putting stuff out and how they were doing in their different ways of thinking. Well, I'll just speak for myself. I know the government contracting space from, like I say, procurement and also awarding people in our place now contracts.
Yeah.
So if a company wanted to come on one of my bases and redo the bathroom, they were sending in those bids, or I was the one reaching out for bids and doing all that. So it became second nature, and we were blessed to be able, like we say, we won those contracts. The two contracts that we won were with the Coast Guard, which is amazing. You can kind of get into those if you want.
Yeah, so the contracts with the Coast Guard are really cool. So we are doing storage units, which purely is literally what it sounds like. Like we basically have a contract where we have a whole bunch of storage units across the U.S. and we provide them for the Coast Guard for the members that are in those locations. And then also we have a service-based contract, which is laundry. And we do laundry for the base in Elizabeth City. I feel like that is really cool because we play up definitely the fact that we're a service disabled veteran owned company. And I feel like that we also play up and also specifically go after Coast Guard contracts because Brian was in the Coast Guard. And so I feel like that just by doing that, it makes this connection with the people that you deal with, whether it's the contracting officer or whether it's the person that you deal with, like when you actually have to like go and do your work, you understand what it is that they kind of are going through during
Sure.
transfer season or whatever. And just by what we were talking about at the beginning, the relationship management and understanding the importance of that and just being a good, genuine human, I feel like has gone such a long way since just with having delivered on these contracts so far.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And not for nothing, it's always good to have something in that's bringing in a little extra money.
Yeah.
You know, it it comes in, and it's like right now, for example, with the government shutdown affecting everyone.
Yeah.
Some payments are behind as they catch up and stuff like that. But all in all, I definitely still think it's a blessing that we're able to have our own company. And it's going to be ups and downs, and you're going to have to kind of adapt
Yeah,
in
for sure.
business. So if those payments are late due to the government shutdown, we do have a clause in the contract
Yes.
that we will be reimbursed and paid. So, you just have to make sure that you're able to maintain and keep an eye on what's going on in the world so you can kind of react and pivot as you need to.
Yeah. And I think that was a great thing to point out because I feel like a lot of people may be hesitant to do work with the government, but I will say this. I feel like that anybody can do it. I feel like that it's a situation to where all you need is something for real that you're interested in or that can pique your interest enough. I feel like I don't scroll on social media. I feel like that I scroll sam.gov. And, to see what type of other cool solicitations that are out there. I know that the country is totally being affected by jobs being lost, but I feel like that the one thing that we found that's consistent is that the government is always looking for some sort of product, some sort of service, whatever, because they need it, because of the changes that they keep making. So, yeah.
They're the they do business in every sector. So,
Yeah.
there's always some money to be made with the government.
And it's over $1 billion trillion business that they end up paying people like us to basically support and actually to help it run. So
over the time, we'll get into more of what we do in the government contracting space, how we do our proposals, and all different types of stuff, just as a value add piece. To help people, because in times like this, if you can take some free time and have a little side hustle that doesn't cost you anything but a little bit of creativity and taking some time to do some research, these are the things that people really need to know about.
Right.
Because one contract can change your life, or it could pay your mortgage or your rent for the next 4 years of foreseeable future. So